Introducing Viski, ItzSunday, and Bigyin with the big gun. Welcome back to the channel, lads and ladies, and welcome to a tripartite production. This is a triple replay. Triple replay. Sorry, I just woke up. I'm very excited. So I'm trying something a little bit new, and apologies if there's some foibles in the editing here. There's certainly nothing wrong with how these people propagated their matches. We have Viski in the Horton 229, who's going to be getting a slick ace in a very competitive jet match, facing off against some of the best jet fighters at this battle rating, getting some very nice shots, if I say so myself. You'll notice the Horton 229 does have, well, some odd flight characteristics, as it doesn't really have a rudder, which makes skewing the nose a bit difficult to get those guns on target. Just a little something to add to the fun of flying this flying wing. You also saw that we have, nice shots on that F3D, a very important target to take down, as if you let him get guns on target, his accuracy and his 420 mils are deadly. So, MiG-9 up above, can we take him down? Viski already making his presence known with 2 quick kills, now on the tail of the MiG-9, who didn't come in with quite enough energy. Actually, there he goes, zooming away, now being pursued by Viski. That just goes to show I don't know what I'm doing. ItzSunday here in his first American tank, this little light boy, a low rank, high fun vehicle. First shot on the move, now backing as he takes down his first target. As you hear from our crew member, the gun is reloaded. This American 37 is very effective and very fun as a weapon that you'll be familiar with from all of the low-rank American vehicles up until you start unlocking things like the Short 75, which is like beating your enemy with a barrel of monkeys. There's chaos, there's confusion, there's a whole lot of damage. But now we're looking at this little pew-pew gun of the 37, which has a fantastic reload rate and fairly reliable ballistics, but getting a double tap, triple, quadruple hits from the enemy in short succession takes him down quickly. Now, for our third contestant, as it were. Man, I wish I could give you guys golden eagles. That would be so cool. But for now, just enjoy being on the YouTube. Tell your mama, tell your pa, you gotta shoot him right in the face as this enemy aircraft closes in. This video featuring the one you see right down there at the bottom of the screen is very inspiring, anti-aircrafting, the aircraft spam. If you guys were playing during the event, I apologize. The game got a little bit cancerous and I was part of it. I mean, my condolences. The CAS spam was ridiculous. And here we see, in the midst of this circumstance, our boy doing his very best to deal with the situation. Bigyin with a big grin as he's already racked up 2 aircraft kills. Earlier in the match, he got some tank kills and a few points with, I think those are assists, enough to spawn in whatever he chose. And what does he choose? But the very powerful French anti-aircraft platform you see before us. It does not have the double 40 millimeters that you see out of the American vehicles, and yet with its good reload rate and shell velocity, it can do the business. So, repositioning, always wise in an SPAA, as the enemy is going to notice your position fairly soon. Bigyin searching the skies and seeing many potential targets, but biding his time until the time is right. Alright, what do you think about that shooting, Guppy? Can you say good job? Yeah? Can you say wow?
Wow!
Good job! So, Bigyin already with a couple of aircraft kills. Now, initially it costs around 750 to 1,000 spawn points to jump into a CAS aircraft. Getting a couple of kills on those does help the allied team quite a bit, but Bigyin gets taken down. What will he spawn in next? Well, we'll find out in a minute. For now, Viski in a downward spiral, pulling around on the F-84, taking some shots. One of the nice things about the Horton 229 is that the twin 30mm MK103 machine canona 103s with their high velocity rounds have quite an amount of ammunition stored in the wings of this aircraft, so you do have the ability to take those risky shots. Just like Michael Jordan said, you miss every shot you don't take. So, with some defensive flying against the F-80 and some hits that didn't seem to actually deal any damage, one of the advantages, I suppose, of the wooden construction of the Horton 229's laminate wings, as he gets into a rolling scissors. Rolling scissors, not a maneuver I would recommend using against the Horton 229, as it has fantastic turn rate, good energy retention for a jet, and great low-speed performance. Maybe that F-80 was hoping for some support from his team, support that he never received. Now, back to ItzSunday, as he's back in the M22 Locust. A fun little vehicle, as my toddler needs some shaking around. What are you doing? Daddy's making a video, Tank Baby. Tank Baby. What? Is there a battle going on? What are you doing? What are you doing? Sorry about the audio. I'm just daddying. Okay, so, I mean, come on. This is appropriate, is it not? I'm throwing a toddler around my living room, and ItzSunday is throwing this M22 Locust around the battlefield, taking Tank Baby to work day as he does some work on that Italian tank. Now, seeing a flipped ally, considering the tow rope, how are we going to rescue this friend, or will we leave him to the cruel winds of fate? ItzSunday, with the tow rope, giving assistance to his friend. What a mensch, what a comrade, what a wonderful employee of the month, M22. Way to go, ItzSunday. You tried. Golden Star. One of the things about the M22, it doesn't have a ton of horsepower, and success! He's done it. He has flipped Stewart. Look what I can do! And now his friend is back in the battle. That itself is enough to be featured on the Toshio Thunder replays. What a great good guy move by ItzSunday. Always nice to see this kind of teamwork in the midst of a heated battle. We hear that the artillery is ready to support our little M22, no doubt hearing of his heroics on the front lines of the battlefield. Now, up on the cliff face, if you're familiar with this map, this is a fantastic position to control the majority of the highlands here. Seeing the smoke of an enemy gunfire, he scopes in but sees that already that enemy has been taken down. And look at the fantastic mobility of the M22 as ItzSunday slides into position. Bombs fall, and yet he is secure, safe in the cleft of the rock, hidden from the torment that was to be, but twere not, because now the M22 finding his target, a nice side shot on an angled enemy, and before we can properly identify him, he's taken down by ItzSunday. It is Schuss time as he shoots the main cannon. Nice shot into the crew compartment of that enemy Panzer. The gunner still active, however, as the Panzer tries to ping the area with his machine guns, and yet a rising column of smoke and fire means that the assist has been secured. Enemy tank down. Now, ItzSunday peeking over the ridge with his machine gun the American way, lining up his artillery, as you can see from the camera being repositioned for a bit there. And are you guys enjoying this cinematic gameplay? I really do love switching to the UI off mode every now and then, as ItzSunday spots for more targets, deciding how he's going to position himself. One of the great advantages of the M22 over much of the competition at these low battle ratings is its fantastic mobility. There are some very mobile tanks that you see in these BRs. There are also some very slow ones like the T-26E, so the M22 easily able to make use of tactical repositioning, as you see ItzSunday doing here. He sees a Panzerjäger attempting, perhaps, to crest the rise. A shot comes in, ineffective, not sure where that came from. It looks like he's being fired on from the left as another round impacts the rocks near him. ItzSunday is in position. First shot, not effective. Opening up with the machine gun, but that is a rifle caliber mounting, and so it's not going to deal the damage you need against the gun shield of the Panzerjäger. So, ItzSunday, perhaps wisely repositioning here. Never let the enemy take a second shot at the place he saw you last. Nice strategy you see here. Even in low rank battles, you can see some very good strategy, especially from these awesome people that are as he takes a round to the crew compartment in the turret. The loader apparently has been dazed, I tell you, dazed and confused. You know my favorite thing about rank 1 tanks? I keep getting more skilled. They stay the same age. Anyway, now try to peek around, just deciding what to do next. It's hard to be an M22 Locust in this strongman's world, but you know what? I think ItzSunday is going to find a way. So at this point, he just needs to recover from that shot to his turret. Perhaps he was repairing, and here comes an enemy vehicle rounding the corner. It looks like a Panzer 35 and is completely oblivious. Is this an AI? Is it just someone who is taking a coffee break? Who is to say? Another round into the engine compartment, fails to take down the engine. That is one of the issues of the American 37. It is a smaller caliber anti-tank cannon, and so it does tend to do less damage, but he does get that kill. Now back to Bigyin, who is again just enjoying himself. Looks like a P-47, I think the German Luftwaffe version, as Bigyin clips off a wing and then finishes off the fuselage for a beautiful cinematic explosion, Michael Bay style, as the P-47 slams into the ground at the king of anti-Cass's feet. Oh, I should say, with only 3 kills, he does have some room for improvement. Is that another P-47? Could it be the Soviet version? Well, we'll have to see. With 3 air kills and 2 ground kills, not a bad start for a match, as this is only a few minutes in. You can see the victory points about halfway down for both teams. It's anybody's game as Bigyin goes into repositioning again. Not a bad idea. Trying to get the lead on that enemy fighter. Not able to before he flies low again. Staying near the rooftops. That looks like a Focke-Wulf, if I'm not mistaken. It looked like he got some hits, indeed, with confirmation, as the Focke-Wulf face plants into the ground for his 4th air kill. Always worth celebrating, taking down these Cass aircraft. Again, he's scoring about 1,000 spawn points worth of damage every time he takes down one of these aircraft. So very, very useful contribution to his team. Swaying the battle in one of the cheapest vehicles, spawn points wise, in the game. In realistic battles, always helpful to play that useful anti-Cass role in your AA vehicles, as close air support can absolutely shred your team. Now focusing on a BF-110, he gets the lead, he evaporates the poor fella, and that sad sausage is going to slam into the substantive surface of the globe, giving Bigyin his 5th, that's an ace, anti-aircraft kill of the match. Very nicely done. It's interesting that he doesn't get more points for these kills, but it's always helpful to the team. As you look, Bigyin here with just over 2,000 score in the match, by no means representing his incredible contribution. An enemy fighter shooting down an ally, Bigyin with only one shot to get a shot into him, and now finding the lead, trying to get that dispersion shot, but he's just not going to be able to track his target through those maneuvers as the enemy fighter pulls away. And yet another enemy coming in quickly is that Japanese. Just enough time to spot the rondels before we're into a head-on as a rocket comes in, and like a rocket, the man slams into the ground with a true Japanese style attack, sacrificing himself in the attempt to take Biggie down. But Bigyin still firing away with that 40 mil, making the work happen as another enemy closes in. The fighter who dodged him the first time, is that a Focke-Wulf? Is it a fireball? It is his 7th air kill. Very nicely done. Beautiful effect on the match here, as Bigyin has secured clear skies for his team. Moving through the bushes, a nicely concealed area. There must be some perturbed enemy pilots on the enemy team, as with 7 kills, more than an ace, more than you would ever expect out of a typical AA. 150 spawn points well spent. There should be even 450 after the respawn, something like that. And yet Bigyin showing, that the only thing that can take him down is a Tiger 2H. Now, back to Viski as he pours on the sauce. Now with a nice vertical position over this F-84. Viski with all the advantages just can't seem to find the lead on the dispersion shot as the F-84 pulls into a turn. It is difficult to get shots on target with the lower fire rate of the MK103s on these very fast moving jets. Yet another reason that the Americans have an advantage at this battle rating, with their fantastic performance of their vehicles and the brace of 50 cals they have available for the old spray and pray, which is one of the best ways of taking down enemy jets, because you need to think a little bit less when your burst mass is a little bit higher. But Viski now showing us the gentleman's combat as he leisurely approaches at very high speed this F-84, who after pulling just a few turns does not have the engine power to accelerate faster than the Horton 229 at these lower speeds. F-84 with a fantastic high range speed properties, but poor energy retention and lesser low range acceleration than his opponent. Now with a great chance in the low speed maneuver as the F-84 pulls into the vertical, and yet Viski again not able to get the guns on target. Again, a difficult thing to do in the Horton 229 as it basically lacks a rudder. Getting the guns on target can be one of the major challenges with this very powerful aircraft in other respects. I'm just impressed that Viski hasn't torn his wings off. That's always the thing that gets me in the Horton 229. It is one of those rest in pepperonis, wing rip vehicles that you have to watch your speeds in. With 4 kills already, going for the ace, chasing down the F-84, this enemy jet playing to his advantages to the most of his ability, trying to keep his speed high, and yet as soon as you turn in an F-84, things start going south quickly. Now, going into a bit of a climb, trying to energy trap the Horton, not necessarily the best strategy, as this is going to enable Viski to close distance a bit. You can see Viski started to follow him into the climb and then realized what was going on. This is an energy trap, and now Viski staying low, letting the enemy climb, try and use his vertical energy retention to his advantage, and going into the delayed pursuit. This is jet energy fighting in essence. It's about deciding when to pop up after your enemy. It's about leading the enemy into spending more energy than they can afford. Now the F-84, it looks like, has decided to turn the tables. Viski now on the defensive. This is a position that the Horton can do well in, but again, with that spray and pray power of the F-84 and his 650 caliber machine guns with a high fire rate, I think they're M3s, not sure on the F-84, so correct me if I'm wrong. Now Viski is in something of a sticky pickle, as the F-84 will eventually have the energy to close with him. Viski needs to defensively fly. At some point, he's going to need to decide to turn against this F-84. It's just a matter of deciding exactly when. And that is a tricky decision because, again, if you waste energy in a jet, your enemy is going to be able to outfly you in short order. However, you need to know when's the right time. Here we go as Viski enters the defensive maneuvers, pulling some barrel maneuvers here, an extended barrel roll, as he's now on the tail of the F-84, but running low on energy as you see the airspeed going down. A nice hit or two into the F-84. Could that make a difference, or is it just a sparkle? We'll find out. It certainly wasn't a critical hit, which is what you would expect out of an MK-103, and yet, the F-84 is a rather sturdy airframe. Now back into a turning engagement, and both players trying to get some energy back. The F-84 now firmly on the tail, and you can hear him spraying and praying to his gods that any rounds can contact this Horton. A good hit from a single 50 cal could spell a difference in this match, as both players are in a low energy state. The Horton 229 with a clear advantage here as he's pulled the reversal on the F-84, but so hard to get the guns on target. Trying to find the lead. Both planes stalling out. Both of these players pushing their jets to the limits to try and get the advantage here. The F-84 with some good shots that Viski narrowly avoided with his rolling maneuvers. The Horton 229, piloted by our champion, having a difficult time in the stall fight, getting his guns on target. Oh, and finally, the F-84 bit off more than he could chew, popping up and being shot down. Rise up and be utterly crushed. Back to ItzSunday in the M22. Speaking of rising up and being shattered, breaking out and being utterly destroyed against the Panzerjäger. Now trying to find a spot to peek over the hill with the main gun. Wisely spotting with the MG to make sure that the cannon barrel was over the terrain, getting some hits on the gun shield, and then opening up with the 37. Now in a difficult position. Even if he took down the gunner on that enemy Panzerjäger, that gunner will be replaced in a few seconds. Not enough time to pop over the ridge, presumably. Now with another shot into the gun shield. One thing about the lack of high explosive filler of these early American 37 wielding vehicles, you need to hit the enemy targets directly, and it looks like that's exactly what ItzSunday has managed to do. Now feeling bold, closing in, feeling cute, might kill a Panzerjäger today. It looks like that's exactly what he was able to do, picking up his next kill in this match, doing very well here as he's killed several enemy vehicles. There it is, one of those early 20mm cannon wielding, presumably SPAAs, and yet with their high velocity armor piercing ammunition, able to shred any tank they'll face at a 1.3, 2.3 battle rating. So yeah, anti-aircraft, sure. And yet against that Panzerknacker, it looks like ItzSunday didn't have the time to take the shots he needed. Again, with the great mobility of that vehicle, one of the things that makes it so effective at this battle rating. And here you see Postman Pat in his post truck, and that poor Japanese fella didn't have enough time to respond to what was going on before ItzSunday finished him off. He took him to church, or took him to school, as he learned him a lesson about American 37mm armor-piercing ammunition. And you can see just the absolute teensy-tiny size of the M22, making this light tank look large, and making this anti-aircraft postal van look significant, as you see the absolute teeniness of this teensy-tiny airdroppable light tank. And with artillery falling all over the place, Postman Pat has been annihilated. Return to sender. His ally to the left taking some hits from both enemy vehicles and artillery, as ItzSunday gets taken down from a direct hit by the already dropped by that Panzer 35T. Very nicely done in your acquired vehicle, as he knew exactly where to place the rounds. So we're down to an what is this? The M15 GMC anti-aircraft platform, I think identifiable by the two 50 cal machine guns, which will be augmented with another two in the next rank of this anti-aircraft platform. A very effective vehicle at its battle rating, and also along with the other American vehicles with some good mobility. And that's just about going to be the end for this video. So guys, I hope you enjoyed these replays sent in by 3 people. We have Viski in the Ho 229, we have ItzSunday in various American vehicles, including the adorable M22, and we have Bigyin with a big ol' smile on his face, fetching 7 air kills in his anti-aircraft vehicle. It's good to get back into replays, and it's been good seeing you guys today. Catch you in the next video. Bye-bye.